Welcome back to the fourth installment of the Island Taste Show. We're here again, Terry Lele'a Sr., aka your boy, with my wife, my future wife, Chelsea Davis. And as you can see, she is my co-host. And today, we're grateful like every day. I'm glad you guys are here. I'm glad you guys are here rocking with us. And we got some things to talk about today, y'all. But first, I want to start it off with just asking, how's your day going, my woman?
I mean, you know, I feel like it's going pretty good. Feel peaceful. Got to go to work. Yeah. We have our little ones here. So I'm feeling really accomplished, complete. I feel good right now. How about you?
The same. Exactly the same. When I woke up, I was like, I'm going to feel good today. So I woke up, shaved my face, put on a shirt that was going to make me happy.
Choices.
Exactly. So thank you guys for being here with us today. We really appreciate it. This is the fourth episode of the Island Taste Show. And today we just wanted to talk about the eventful last 2 weeks because obviously we didn't have a show last week. We've been super busy.
Yes.
You know, making sure we take care of our business, taking care of our kids. It is kind of hard, like, you know, having so many things going for yourself and taking care of a family, but, you know, we do what we do and we make it happen. So shout out to my woman for holding us down, being the rock to this family.
Thanks, babe.
No, thank you. Thank you.
I'm glad to be back filming.
Yeah, with the last 2 weeks we did, I was able to get back on set. Man, what a great time that I had on set. It was so amazing. I swear, everybody that was on set with me, I was able to make a lot of good connections. It was so good. The vibes were amazing. And, you know, we killed it. Shout out to the actors that were on this film that's coming up soon. It's called Choices.
Choices.
Man, this is,
no.
seriously, choices. That's what we were talking about this morning. Made choices to make myself happy today.
Right. Oh.
You know, and this is this movie, this little film that we did, the short film that we did, it has to do with PTSD and bringing awareness to people suffering with PTSD, especially coming out of the military. Me personally, I don't have any connection with that other than the people in my family that have been in the military that have suffered through PTSD and things that go on, you know, with their mental health. So I was glad I was able to be a part of that project. You know, it was good. I wish you were there.
And I helped you with your lines.
Oh my goodness, no, seriously. Like if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be able to do what I was able to do on set. You know, take care of my business.
It was pretty cool.
Yeah, in the middle of our process, I remember telling her, I was like, "Oh, you doing so good. You might have to come on set and be Stan."
No, I could never take anybody's shoes over, but I did get to start back at the salon.
Oh yes, it was a long quarantine, double quarantine.
Like it was so weird having everything shut down or open up, then shut down,
then open back up, then shut down.
So yep, I'm back, and it's been great transition being able to go back. I mean, it almost feels like we haven't skipped a beat, but you know, quarantine has just been such an emotional roller coaster, especially not for me, but you know, any small business,
not just quarantine, like everybody being in this pandemic, along with the multiple fires that's been going on in our state of California. I mean, it's just been a crazy time for all of us, and you know, I just hope everybody's, you know, taking care of themselves at this time and being as safe as they can, because even walking outside is kind of a danger at this time.
Right, our air quality. Our
air
quality. Jeez. It's just been so bad.
Yeah. But, you know, since the salon opened back up, one thing that I did miss is people's reaction to your work. Like, we haven't had that since you haven't been having any clients. So having multiple people like, oh my gosh, you've done such a good job on my hair. And then people,
I know.
You know, we went to LA and did our family's hair and makeup, and they're like, you do this in Fresno? Like, just Fresno? Why don't you do this in other places in California?
Right.
So we've been loving the praise that we've been getting. We've been so grateful for the support that we've had with everything going on.
Spending time with people.
Yeah, our number one thing right now is our family. Like, everything revolves around our family, and every time that we get, especially during this time, to be with our family, we take advantage of, because, you know, we don't know what's going to happen next in our country and our world. So we've been taking advantage of every moment. You know, we're very grateful for everything that's been going on in our lives. You know, shout out to my woman, hardest worker in the house, doing her
Not
thing.
even close.
You've been
not even
grinding, I
close.
swear. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have the motivation and the ambition that I had.
Oh, thanks.
I think
babe. I think that's like a mutual thing, though, for sure.
Yep, I was just gonna say if I didn't meet you, I wouldn't have met somebody with just as much or even greater ambition than I have. You know?
Match that, you know? Hey, I feel that. I feel that.
Oh yeah, I've been feeling it. I love it. Another thing that's been going on in our personal lives is our son's growth.
Oh,
You
I know.
how big our son is
Dada
getting.
turned 9 months.
9 months, and
On the
it seems
10th.
like it flew by.
I
9
know.
months.
He's got a bunch of attitude.
Oh,
I don't know
wonder
who
he gets
he
it from.
thinks he is. No. Not me. It's definitely not me.
Jeez.
No, but
That boy is demanding. I'm telling you. I don't know if y'all have a 9-month-old boy, but shout out to all the parents that have gone through
right,
a 9-month-old
especially
son.
little kids in general.
Oh yeah, for real.
Period.
But our little 9-month-old is just a strong, little, energetic being. Like
I know he's starting to walk.
He's starting.
like,
He
little
can walk.
words.
He can walk. I don't know why he don't just take those steps. I just think that when he gets there, he thinks crawling is faster. So he's like, I get
That's
there crawling.
true.
But like he's
He
been growing
needs to slow
so
down.
fast. Like I remember the other day I walked in, we were at Long Beach, and then he was clapping his hands on command. And I wasn't there for it. And I was like, yo, my son, wait, like well, I thought you was gonna do this when I was here. I was supposed to be here for that moment. But I walked in, my son, they were like, clap your hands, and he was just juiced. I'm so grateful for my little boy and the growth that he's shown.
I feel
You
like
know,
you might be able to hear him in the background.
I hope y'all can hear him in the background because that boy.
Had to bring all of them to the studio right now,
Yeah,
so
do our
you
parental
may
duties.
hear him a little bit in the background.
We got our clan over there in the back, so you know they're over there holding down the fort with our kids like they do so well.
Right.
You know, and especially with our kids, they just got out of school, and with this new school year going on, it's been so stressful. It's been so different, especially for the kids. Like I feel for the kids when they come to us asking for help because they really want to learn.
Right.
You know, like our kids are really trying their best to be involved in the little technical difficulties. It really gets to them, especially at a young age. We didn't have to deal with that. We were able to be in school, but
Right.
for them
Their
to be
life changed
adapting.
so much from just getting cut off in March. Boom, you're done. That's it. You're not going to school. You're not going to see your teacher. You're not going to see your friends. Nothing. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
And
then here's a computer. This is how you're going to learn. You're going to be in class like this. There's no telling if the teacher is going to see you with your hand up. You're not going to be able to interact with other kids.
Right.
But at the same time, I mean, it did give us the opportunity to bring them with us to the studio, and they're kind of enjoying being able to see what we do.
It's been about
So it's nice.
Yeah, exactly. About a month and a half since we've been like, now that they're home, we have to be with them all the time. You know, those hours that were allotted for when they were in school is now transferred to us.
Yeah.
So the fact that we have them here with us is like, okay, this isn't necessarily our time anymore because usually this is the parents' time. When the parents drop off the kids, they're like, okay, let's take care of business, and then we got to pick them up.
Right.
But now it's like, okay, they're home, let them be in school, and let's take care of business.
Right.
You know, not only do they have to adapt, but also the parents have to adapt. So that's been something for us that's been kind of, you know, up and down. More so, we got to keep going with how it goes while we take care of our kids. You know, it hasn't been easy, but I like how we've been able to just be together and being able to take care of this together.
Right. And I mean, they learned how to play Fortnite and every other video game.
Y'all should be able to win everything else.
We were able to adapt.
Right. And it's a lot different when it's the kids being on electronics for hours on the game and then kids being on electronics trying to learn. You know, that's a completely different experience for these kids to have, and being parents and being able to adapt to that, like it is difficult and it's stressful seeing them like really struggle being home as our kids are 10 and 6, about to be 7 and 11.
And then 3 going to be going into school
And she's going to go
next
school
year.
next year, and I hope.
So it's like, oh man,
my
I hope
goodness.
that they get to go back.
I
Yeah.
really hope that our kids get to go back to school next year. Because
Right.
even now, it's only been a month and a half, and they're telling us nonstop, I want to go to school. Like, I don't know if I told you, Jordan was like, when am I going to go back to school? I want to go to school today.
Right.
You know, and then technical difficulties, and then she was stressed out.
Yeah. It's like a very complicated experience, and it's not easy on any end, no matter if you're in elementary or if you're in college, because you're taking your college courses.
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Although I will say that I'm glad I get to be right there next to him and be in his classes, like
free tuition right there.
The
She
knowledge.
gets that free education every time I'm in class. She's
Fresno
like, "Oh, you're on
State,
it."
Fresno
Let me
State
open my notebook.
education.
You know, and I'm not gonna
yeah.
lie, my classes have been
I take
so
advantage.
meaningful. I'm not gonna lie. I've had classes that have been, BS in the past, but I feel like the classes I picked and me being fortunate enough to get good teachers, they've been teaching us some very meaningful information. And even having my wife here next to me, watching my classes, like we've literally shed tears studying because this stuff that we're learning is so deep.
Right.
Like I've had two separate classes in the past week make me do research on the murder of Emmett Till.
Oof.
And goodness,
That one was
I'm
definitely bad.
telling you, like that touched my soul. And I didn't expect to see what I saw or even learn what I was going to learn, because I've heard before what happened, but I didn't know the details. And if you don't know the details, like I swear, like you should look into it with an open mind and just think about humanity at the same time, because this isn't a situation that's normal in any sense. So you're not going to be doing research on something that you've learned before. You're not going to be doing research on something that, I know about this. Like I've learned about this in the past, but knowing the whole situation as a whole for Emmett Till, it kind of like makes me think about how times are now and how much that has transitioned into and influenced what's going on today.
Because it's only been 65 years.
Exactly. Like,
a lot of people who thought that way back then are still alive now. I mean, even like they had said at the very end with the jury, I mean, we would have been able to come to a conclusion earlier, but we decided to drink some coffee. We already were decided that the men who killed Emmett Till was innocent.
right.
And we just decided to drink some coffee to kind of drag it out. Like, dang. I mean, the jury was pretty much pre-selected from people who were in the same city or little town that the murderers were from.
Right. Speaking of the town, like that's not an environment we're familiar with. Like that's the deep South that we've heard of growing up.
But it's just spread. It's just spread.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't suck to learn about. It sucks to know about.
But I'm glad that we are learning, and I'm glad that I'm getting that free education.
Hey, for real. I mean, I just think that Emmett Till case was one that really stuck and really had me stop. We were supposed to write notes on the video, and I literally stopped writing notes on the video that I was watching, and
Right.
I just kind of felt for the entire family, and I know exactly what is going on today. Like, I'm not unaware. Everybody knows what's going on today. And
Yeah.
if you were to look into that case, if you're like me, you'd be mad. You'd be angry. Like,
Right.
it would hit your soul in a way that, like, all right, I'm not just learning about this. Like, this is real life. Like, this isn't math. This is something that's, like, really meaningful. Like, this influences what's going on today. I can go on about it because of what I've been learning about it, but I urge you guys to do your research and learn about this Emmett Till case and see and come up with your own opinions. And
Ooh, good conversation topic.
right, like this is a good conversation because I've heard many conversations about this, but I never knew the details. So
Right.
being told to do your homework on this in two separate classes, and mind you, one of them is African American Studies, which I was like, okay, like this is gonna have to do with this class because we've already done plenty of subjects and homework on this topic. that has to do kind of with this topic. But then another one of my classes that had me do research on it was art.
Yeah, but and they're more of just a conversational piece.
Yeah, and it was two different perspectives because with my art class, she wants you to go deep into your mind and formulate your opinions and your ideas so that you can create an art piece. It has to do with putting your thoughts on a piece of paper in art. And now with my other class, it's more so you're putting these pieces together to form research topic for you to succeed in the class. Like this is actually has to do with the topics that we've been learning about. And it's just so crazy, like you find similarities into what's going on.
And then relating it to now. Yeah.
And that kid was 14 years old. Our girl's about to be 11.
I know.
Like she's not too far away from that age, and puts it into perspective. Like, yo, I have a black daughter. I will never let this happen to her. I refuse.
But even Mammy, though, even during the documentary, she was like, I tried to make things as exaggerated as I could, so then maybe that could, give him some kind of second thought of like, okay, it may not be this bad, but it's bad enough that I need to be careful.
All right.
And so I know we kind of exaggerate to the kids, but at the same time, it's for a good reason.
Right, exactly.
It's definitely for a good reason.
Rest in peace, their souls.
Right.
Mamie and Emmett Till. I would never wish that upon nobody. I would never wish that pain that the mother had to go through upon nobody. But, I honor them and rest in peace their souls. On another topic, though, we also here at the Island Taste Show, we want to talk about our personal life. I remember, like I said in some previous episodes, I want to bring y'all into, the life of a Polynesian man, the life of a Samoan. So for me to do that, I brought my wife 2 times, and obviously she's a co-host, so we're going to be having you on all the time at this point.
Oh, I mean,
might as well.
Who is Batman without Robin? Okay.
Shoot, Batman don't like Robin. Batman is a lone soldier.
No, Batman he couldn't do half the things he does without Robin.
I mean, that's another topic. But all I gotta say to that is Batman tells Robin to do other things, and Batman take care of the big business. I love Batman. Sorry about that. But seriously, like I wanted to talk to you guys about the time that we've spent with our family. Like it's been so great. It's nothing like having family that makes you feel so at peace. Like I remember we went to our therapist appointment. Before we went together, I went by myself, and the week before we went together, my therapist was telling me, your family, it seems like it brings out the purest version of yourself. And I'm like, really? Well, let's go around them more often then.
Right.
So we've been taking, like I said earlier, we've been taking advantage of every moment we have with our family. Especially during our son's growth. I would love to have my son around them every day if I could, because they love my son. They love our son. They love him. Like he's just the angel on earth, So I would love for him to be around that environment all the time. Our kids looking at us right now.
I know.
Hey kids, let daddy and mommy take care of business. Okay. We're gonna get you guys the code, okay? So, look, there's our family right there. That's another part of us taking care of our family business.
Right.
But like I said, I've been so grateful for the time we've been spending with our family, because I know that it's only going to make our son grow. I know you guys hear the saying, it takes a village. And it really does.
Right.
Like there's things that me and the mother of my child, my son, know that like we've been learning together at the same time by being around our family and the ones that support us and love us. We have a lot of meaningful conversations with my mom, my dad, my aunties and my uncles and like my sisters about like, man, what's next in our son's life? Like it's their son,
Right. It's just definitely nice to kind of have that, that community, like, that people just understand, like, okay, you've got your kids with you, like, or, your family needs to do this or that or whatever in between you chasing your goals, and we respect that.
Key term, chasing your goals. Like, they respect that.
Yeah.
Like, our family has really been there, being like, you know what, we got you guys. Just let us know.
Right.
And like, by saying
even the
that,
people we work with and do business with, they know and understand, and they're like, this isn't something that's brand new, or
Right.
we don't like what
Right.
you got to take care of
Right.
your kids. No,
Exactly.
take care of me first. Like, no.
On both sides it's like that, because like, if obviously you had to do your sister's hair this past weekend, your best friend, and we had to make sure we took care of our kids, you know, and my mom and my sisters were there to be like, and our family was there to be like, okay, we'll take care of the kids, you know, go take care of your business, because I know this is for your kids.
Right.
And they respect that, and they literally honor that.
Shout out to them.
Yeah, shout out to our
Definitely
family. Shout out to our
them.
support system. Y'all are the greatest.
Right. Shout out to the people who work with us behind the scenes with this show, KP, Moises. Like,
my man Rich Martinez, Supermax Nation.
Yes,
Supermax International.
VIPs.
And I'm so grateful for this platform that you guys have lent me and my woman. Like, we always look forward to, all right, what we gonna do next? How are we gonna be able to make sure that we, you know, do this to our best potential?
Right.
So, like, it's been getting better and better. You know, for this being the 4th show,
yeah,
I feel so much more comfortable.
I was gonna say that too.
Like, the nerves are kind of gone a little bit, and I'm so glad that I've been able to work on this with you.
Oh,
because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have my thoughts.
To be here.
Seriously, I'm glad you're able to be here too. Because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be able to have my thoughts organized and be able to talk to somebody that's like there every day, that's supportive. Because you know, there's a lot of people that are with somebody that literally doesn't support their dreams, but my woman is always there. Like, come on, babe. Like, what we gonna do? What we gonna do
next?
Right. Like, and I really, really appreciate that. Like, there's no other person that I could picture myself growing with than you. So, thank you so much. Yeah. I think that speaks for itself, my woman.
This show, the business, the experiences we've had, the events that are going on, even next week, busy.
Our business, our growth.
I enjoy it. Even though it's busy, I'm like,
right.
chilling.
It's all a part of our growth. How busy we've been is only gonna translate into growing.
Right.
So I'm glad we've been so busy.
Soon.
Not at all. Like, I hear people use the term, "Oh, we're gonna keep the foot on their necks." Like, that's literally what we've been doing. Like, we're applying pressure. We're gonna continue to apply pressure. We're only doing things that's meaningful to our lives. We're only doing things that's gonna uplift us and the next person and our family.
Right.
You know, as stressful as it may be at sometimes, we still continue to keep a positive attitude. Like, I don't know how many times that me personally, I've had a breakdown, and then my woman was there and like, come on, you know what to do.
Right.
Like, life is right in front of you.
Right.
Like, you already knew these things have been lingering. Now let's take care of it one by one.
Right.
You know, the problems are only gonna take care of them if we take care of them ourselves. You know, so. And I thank you for always being my motivation for all the things that we do. I never really had nobody like this by my side.
Oh.
So I think one of the biggest things recently that we've been able to do together is go to my therapy appointment, and I was able to have you there along with baby boy. You know, obviously we had to have him there with us. We didn't have nobody to watch him at that time. He did have his moments, but I think that's why we were at therapy. But that really made me feel so good to have you there, my therapist appointment, because it's a lot different than just expressing to you what happened after the fact, because you're actually able to be there and also have an input on, you know, our life and our family and how we want to get better. Because this show, I made a point to make this show about mental health, because this affects me. Like, this affects all of us. And if you don't think it affects you, it affects somebody very, very close to you.
Right.
and we all need to be aware of that. And I'm very glad that we were able to go together. I kind of want to let the people know on both sides how we've been able to, or what we enjoyed most about that experience. What we were able to do. All right. All right. So yeah, I think one of the best things that I wanted to let the people know about is our experience and what we felt about that. Personally, like, it made a deep impact on my life, just that moment alone.
Right. I feel like being able to come into your sessions and just like hear what she had to say and listen in on conversations that I've only been able to be like outside of is kind of brought me a little closer to you. I mean, it's like I get to see like the behind the scenes, and I loved it. Like, it was being able to see a different perspective, a different side of your mind that I don't usually get to see. So
Exactly.
I can't wait to bring you into mine and kind of let you see a side of me that I thought I was showing you everything. But based on me seeing what your session was about, I'm like, what?
Right. There's a lot of things that
You're
we
like
don't
an
even
onion.
know. Yeah. Ogres are like onions. Onions are like ogres. End of story. Goodbye. But seriously,
A lot of layers.
yeah, for real. Like, I'm gonna tell you guys right now. When I go to my therapy sessions, I let it out. All the thoughts that bothered me, seriously, period. All the thoughts that have bothered me throughout the week, all the things that were on my mind, good and bad, like, I let my therapist have it. And me, being vulnerable and letting her in on that part of my life, I trust her because she's professional. She's a professional. She's doing this. She's been doing this for so long. And I think that has been able to open my mind up and like, all right, I know these thoughts ain't only for you. I know more people have these thoughts, and you'd be surprised at how not alone you think you are.
Right.
Like,
that's definitely something that I thought, like, oh my God, I'm the only person that's experiencing this. I'm the only person who's ever come across this problem, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, no, actually, it's just super common. And then you're like, oh, okay, I feel a little more confident now. I don't think I'm like a weirdo for thinking this.
Right.
Like, all right, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like, it kind of relieves the anxiety. It relieves the like self-consciousness and
peels
kind
off
of
those layers. Every session peels off every layer.
True.
Seriously, that's probably the best analogy I can give you.
Wow.
It literally peels off those
Exactly.
layers. After every session, you're like, you know what? I didn't bring this up last time. I gotta talk about it. It's been on my mind.
Right.
And for people to think that, like, oh my gosh, there's such a stigma on mental health that me and my woman been talking about it so much. Like, this is necessary. This isn't
It's
something.
normal.
It's
It's
normal.
normal.
Like, I'm glad I'm seeing therapy. I'm
Right.
glad that me and my woman came to the point where, like, you know what? Let's talk to somebody.
Because it only makes us healthier.
And I was kind of nervous at first. I was like, okay, I only knew that therapy. I'm not crazy. I'm not
Right.
insane. But nah, like, regular people that you see in your everyday life, I bet you 1 out of 4, it affects them. Like, there's a lot of things that go on that you would never expect to go on in people's minds. Even the happiest person you know,
Right.
they have low points. They're
Right.
not always that happy person.
You are
know.
not alone at all.
Never.
And we're hoping that this show kind of, makes that more normal. Like, we just want to make life experiences. We want to bring you guys into our personal life. We want to just, make things more normal so it doesn't sound so taboo whenever people talk about
Exactly.
things or,
Thank
have
you, babe.
issues or problems or even like our successes. Like, the way that we talk about like the moments where we just didn't feel good about ourselves, I mean, it should be just as normal as being like, hey, did you see this on TV? Like, oh,
Right.
yeah, you know, whoopty whoop. And then, like, oh, hey, you know, I kind of got a problem. Like, do you mind talking to me for a second?
Exactly.
Like, it should be normal.
Just
or, like,
like
you know, whatever.
You went to
So-
go talk to your friend today. Hey, you see the Clippers lose yesterday? How about you ask them, like, hey, man, how you doing?
How you doing? Like,
how
that's a really
are you
important-
doing?
Right.
Our therapist made sure that we know the importance of a how are you.
Right.
Like,
So I
how
hope that we
are
can bring
you?
that to everyone who watches our show and kind
Right.
of gain some knowledge through our show. So for this being the 4th installment, I'm super juiced. Like, I feel like we brought you guys into our family, into our little...
Oh, you
know-
sending us out? You sending us
Oh,
out today?
No, but I
Okay.
mean... if that's what it is. No.
All right.
But I mean, I'm just happy that we could bring you guys into a little bit of our life. We get to talk about what we got going on. I know that this time is only the 2nd time that I've been here, but you know,
Get used to it.
this is an expanding point. Yeah, get used to it.
Mm-hmm.
But this is like an expanding point of just like bringing our viewers closer into us, relating with you guys, talking about what we've been going through, talking about what we've been, you know, experiencing little victories from, you know, just whatever. Just,
Right. And take advantage of those little victories.
Right.
Like, literally enjoy those little victories, because once you get that big W, and once you get that trophy, then you're gonna be like, wow, this is what all these little victories amounted to.
Right.
Like, even the little victory, like, I got through a little thought in my head that was gonna take me to somewhere that I didn't want to go, but I let it go. I stopped it.
Right.
I stopped that thought. Now I'll take that W. You know, like little things like that.
But I think that's just really what this whole show encompasses, and I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. I like the sense of community. I like the sense of, you know,
Togetherness.
togetherness. Yeah, I was gonna say not being by myself. Like, yeah, togetherness is even better.
Mm-hmm.
Oop.
Look at our. Well, with that being said, y'all, me and my woman,
Cut that.
we
Please,
really appreciate y'all being here
I
with
got
us.
like a frog
You
in my
know,
throat all of a sudden.
it's been so good having y'all. You want to redo that?
Yeah, can we redo
Okay.
that? Because I don't even know where that came from.
All right. Well, with that being said, y'all, we thank you guys for coming on our show, for learning more about our lives and being here and supporting us. You know, 4 episodes strong, every Thursday at 7:30 p.m. We're going to be coming at you guys on Supermax Nation, Mad Talk TV. This is the Island Taste Show. I'm your host, Terry Lele'a Sr. This is my co-host, Chelsea Davis.
Thank you for having us.
I can't wait till that last name change. But thank you guys so much.
Thank you for having us. Thank you for tuning in. We really appreciate you guys.
Peace out.
Welcome home, all. Welcome back for another 10 minutes of truth. So, back and getting a lot of stuff done. There's going to be a little more content in terms of the show, 10 minutes of truth, because there's just a lot to get out. You know, I've found the hard way that one episode, one show a week doesn't satisfy the creative flow, at least on my end and with my crew, my homeboys that make sure that I'm up, looking good, sounding good, and being good on camera for you. So we're going to do a little bit more. This is going to be one of those. I'll figure out the format. We're still obviously on the Mondays at 8 p.m. Pacific, no matter what. And then we'll probably add an additional and put it somewhere throughout the week as we finalize and harden, crystallize, our schedule for our multiplicity of programs. Like that, huh? Multiplicity of programs. So what I've got for you today is one of those things that like so in your face and so blatantly there to deal with that you cannot not deal with it. You have to. And so I've had a hard time, deciding on how I wanted to present or discuss this particular topic, this particular item. But again, it is quite literally ubiquitous in my area, in Central California, California as a whole, and then the West Coast as a whole. What am I speaking of? Apropos for this moment, where we are right now, and this time, it has to do with the fires that are raging up and down California, through Oregon, and up to Washington, all along the West Coast. And these fires are devastation is not enough of a word to describe what is taking place and what has been taking place now over days and now weeks, and what it is doing to not just each individual state, but to the collective psyche of the residents of these states. And then you place that on top of the fact that we're living through a damn national nightmare as is, with the pandemic, with an obliterated economy, with people out of work, with people near homelessness because they don't have enough to pay their rent and bills, more people in hunger lines and shelters than in many, many years. All that on top, right? And it's just a devastating 1, 2, 3 combo, elbow, and it's beating us down as a whole. Now, for starters, I'm not one to get beaten down. I'll get back up. However, I'm not everybody, and some don't have that ability, one way or the other. I'm the brown guy on the white horse. I come in to try to help. I do what I can. However, it's no one thing is enough. We need a national mobilization. Obviously, state to state isn't going to cut it because they don't have the resources and the capability individually. We need a big thing, a big monolithic effort from all Americans, even if you're not over here, even if you don't live on the West Coast. Because some of you are finding out the hard way, and we're going to get to that in a second. Some of you in other parts of the country are finding out what does affect us here on the West Coast will affect you ultimately in the Midwest, the South, the East Coast, and in Europe. Okay? This is a small planet, and it's a small country, relatively. Okay? The things that happen in other parts of our country, we kind of like, oh, that's too bad, I'll pray for you, and then we move on our merry way and do our own life. Okay? But that time is going by the wayside. It really is. If you don't start thinking of these problems as issues that are beyond regional problem solving, then we're going to continue to have these problems. And yeah, fair question. Well, how do you stop Mother Nature? How do you stop this? How do you stop that? Damn it, there are things you can do to mitigate, if not minimize, and potentially eradicate. Now watch this. I'm American. I'm blatantly all-American. I don't believe in not doable. I believe in trying. And if I fail, then damn it, I tried. Instead of saying, oh, there's nothing you can do about it, oh, it's just bad. Wrong answer. That's an absolutely monolithically wrong answer. Try, damn it. It's supposed to be America, right? We have a can-do attitude, not a I don't care, not, oh, that's not me, oh, that's a blue state, not a red state, oh, they're not like me, so I don't care. It's not affecting me personally, so what's the big issue? I'll wait till my problem happens. Doesn't work that way, or at least it shouldn't. At least not in my world, not in Supermax Nation. I don't believe that. So what we're going to talk about today in a brief 10 minutes, try to make it brief, is the fires that are raging up and down the West Coast and that are affecting our neck of the woods in my particular area. And we're going to try to put some data on it, some spank. We're going to put some data on it get some science on it, and deal in some hard, lucid facts without moving it one way or the other because of your political want or need. Okay? Because the cold, hard reality is we have people dying because of these fires. We have people upended and homeless. Homeless. Homeboy. Homeless. Homeboy, homegirl. Because of these fires. And we're watching as this obliteration takes place. And I just got this yesterday as I was listening to a scientist, an epidemiologist, and another medical professional talk about the particulate matter, the dust, and the ugly that these fires have generated in the air, in our regions, are going to, if not already, exacerbate the problems with the pandemic. The virus, the coronavirus, is airborne. It's airborne. It's inhaled. You breathe it in. And now you have unhealthy, unclean air on top of that. That exacerbates the problem of the pandemic. Lungs will be weaker. Lungs will be more assailed and attacked because of what's in the air right now, not just the virus. Yeah, layer it on top of layer. That's what's going on right now. All right, let's get down to business. Let me get that first image, KP. Here you go. Year-to-date fires in the U.S. total. As of right now, 4.7 million acres burned in the United States. 2.2 million of those acres are specifically and have burned in California. So nearly 1/3 of the total acreage burned in the United States this year are specifically California. 2.2. You guys understand California is a big state. It's a big state. It's bigger than Oregon, it's bigger than Washington. It's bigger than almost all states except for a handful. Okay? So we're getting hit hard, and it's just absolutely ravaging our open area, our territory, our green, what we had for green, forest, etc. 2.2 million acres burned in California alone, 4.7 million acres burned in the United States as of right now. Okay, that's a large chunk, ladies and gentlemen. Acreage. Acres. We're not talking about some square footage. This is acreage. 2.2 million California, 4.7 million United States. Next image, please. Here you go. This is just one of many, because there are many. There are small towns, small areas of population that have been totally wiped off the map. This was a small town in Northern California. Obliterated. These are homes. This is a town. Look at that. Gone. Those people have lost livelihood in the form of businesses and where they go to live. They've lost homes where they went to live, to stay, sleep. Where they went to live, I meant businesses, Main Street, they're places that they go. So all of this is going on right now, okay? This is just one of small town America in Northern California, and I'm going to guess running all the way up through Oregon to Washington, that an entire town is just gone. Gone. And there's no snap and it's back tomorrow. These people are out of homes. These people are out of business. These people are out of jobs, livelihoods. These people are out of a life that they have lived, in some cases, for decades, if not many, many years. That's right now. That's going on right now. Next image, please. Here you go. I'm going to give a shout out because we need to. You have men and women right now in fire, forestry and fire, that are battling these blazes up and down the state of California and up and down the coast, all the way up to Oregon and Washington. These people are doing really the dirty work, the life-threatening work of battling these fires to contain and try to control, if not, again, minimize and mitigate the damage that is being done by these fires, and hopefully eventually to try to get rid of them entirely. But the damage has been done, and it's going to be bad. One small sidebar I wanted to point out, brought up by one of the crew, was that these firefighters in particular are are former or current inmates. They're prisoners. Okay? But the state of California has taken people out of prisons, healthy and hale men, young and into their 20s, 30s, etc., able-bodied, and made firefighters of them right now to help offset their crimes against a population, a country, a state, a city, etc. And you know what? That's a damn good job. That's a damn good thing. I'm digging on that right there. Let them atone for their crimes by saving lives, saving acreage, and battling for the state of California. That's smart. If you want to find fault with that, there's something wrong with you. Okay? People commit crimes. Give them the opportunity to come back and atone for those crimes by putting their life on the line and helping save others. That's pretty damn good. I've been pretty hard and heavy on Gavin Newsom regarding the pandemic, and I've called him out at will for the mistakes I think he's made, but I will definitely say this is a damn good thing for the state of California. That's smart. Smart is good, right? Data, facts, science, see how that works? Smart is good. So I'm really digging on this. These people are fighting these fires for the people of California. Absolutely outstanding. Next image, please. Okay, this was taken, and this kind of went, and I did see this online. This is a shot from an airplane that just a regular person took looking out of a window. This is over some of the wildfire area, and at a higher altitude, while they're in the plane, guy reaches over and takes a little clip, takes an image, and that's the smoke creating that big mushroom cloud, and it's just nasty, ugly air that's getting up into the atmosphere, and that will now begin to billow out, dependent on winds and an environment at that level, that elevation, because now it's moving, as I mentioned and I alluded to earlier, it's moving to other parts. This is not just staying. The smoke, the smog, this gunk, this nasty fire residue that's in the air now isn't staying, ladies and gentlemen, just hovering over California, Oregon, or Washington. It's moving. It's moving. It's moving to the Midwest. It's moved over in large amount over the Pacific, and they've shown images of it meteorologically. And they've even seen it as it's patterned over, as it keeps moving over the East Coast, and will eventually make way through air and atmosphere to Europe. So I alluded to this earlier. These problems are not just one locale, one region, regionalized. These problems, when they become atmospheric, environmental, these problems become all of our problems. And you may not want to hear that, but again, if you're a climate denier and you believe in hoaxes, then go somewhere else, because we deal in data here. This is a cold, hard reality. This stuff is taking place. Okay, and whether you want to admit it or not, it is taking place, and it's going to affect a lot of people, if not everyone at some point. Air, it moves, it travels. It will get to everybody. You may not like it, and it might not be as bad in your area, not a big deal, but it is affecting not just our particular area, but it is moving, and will affect others. Next image, please. Lastly, this is an image, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is indicative of more than just one particular locale and one easily identifiable, recognizable, and comprehensible image for a particular city. Yeah, this is San Francisco, this is the bridge, and this is an image shot over. Someone took a picture. That is the real thing. That is the sky. An ugly, hazy orange that blocks out the sun. Like some dystopian, netherworld, blade-running, ugly. This is what we see. And I'm going to say that because in my particular area, Central California, Fresno, California, it is kind of like this. You drive around, you look up, and you're like, what the hell am I looking at? This is a haze. This is an ugly haze I can't even see the damn sun. And then, of course, ingesting or breathing, you actually can taste it, feel it in the air right now. This is not just one locale, one region. This is up and down the state of California, all the way down to LA, and definitely in the great Central Valley where I'm located, from Fresno back to Sacramento and Bakersfield. This is on right now. This is going on right now. Okay, so let me put this one on the table before I wrap up this 10 minutes of truth. I've sat with people, I've discussed with people, and I've heard others out on whether climate change and the environmental impact of people on the environment and in climate is real and reality. And uniformly, I come back to some simple explanations that can get even the most diehard to actually understand and maybe believe a little bit. Here's a really, really simple reality. And I used to teach this when I was in the classroom a while ago. The one thing we do understand, ladies and gentlemen, now stay with me. Come on, come into Brown, come into Brown. All right? The one thing we do understand is that population increases. Yes? Stay with me. If you're a denier of that, then you need to get out of here already. I don't know why you're here. I mean, you're literally taking up space. So, population increases. Understood, given, data, science, fact. Population increases. As our population increases as a species, we require more oxygen. We eat up, utilize more resources, more capability, more naturally living things. We use, we consume. And as we do on a little marble that is finite, ladies and gentlemen, in resources and capacity, then we can only serve to diminish and alter that ever decreasing amount of resources and naturally occurring capability in the form of coal, in the form of forests. The Amazon's getting chewed up, and those are the lungs of the earth. They pump out oxygen. That's what we require to breathe. Think about what's going on in California. It's not as bad as the Amazon, but it's pretty damn bad. We need those trees to breathe. Can you understand that? I hope you're still with me, you hardcore deniers. I hope you're still with me. If you're not, then you should have left a while ago. I told you. Okay? That's all going on right now. Our population increases. There are more human beings. We consume more. We take up more. We use more. If you think that climate change is not reality, then you deny yourself. You deny reality. You deny facts. You deny data. You deny science. And brother, that's on you. That's on you. When someone tells you to go rake the leaves and it'll all go away, that's a joke. That's stupid. And I don't say that word very often, but I'm going to say it right now. If you think it's as simple as that, go rake the leaves. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. You really don't. Start getting square with reality, start getting square with science, and start getting square with the fact that this country, this continent, this planet, yeah, we better start figuring out a way how to live going forward, or else us older dogs are going to hand over a mess to a bunch of younger ones, and we're going to give them the problem to solve because we sat on our ass and did nothing. Wrong answer. That's my 10 minutes of truth. I'll see you soon.